Hello, this is Chuck Fry, publisher of the Mind Mapping Software blog, your source for the best insights, reviews, and best practices for visual mapping. Welcome to this edition of Mind Map Insights, where I walk you through some tips and strategies for getting the most out of your mind mapping software in only 3 minutes. Do you have a systematic way of determining if your mind map is done? I know this is something that a lot of people struggle with. Well, I'm going to share with you 10 questions you can use to evaluate your maps to determine if they're as complete and as good as they can be. Number one, think about the audience. What needs do they have if you're going to be sharing your map with them? What does that imply in the way in which information is organized and presented? How can you make it more understandable? Number two, are your topics and subtopics well organized and grouped logically? Pretend you're someone who has never seen your mind map before. Would you understand what it's trying to say, or would you be confused? 3, view only the first level topics. Collapse all of the subtopics below that level, and given that high level view, is once again the flow logical? You need to look at it without all of that detail in order to see if the higher level flow of it is logical. Number 4, review each branch of your mind map one at a time and ask, is this branch complete in its present form, or do I need to add additional subtopics to make it more complete? What's missing and should be added? And finally, what's extraneous and should be removed? What needs to be clarified? 5, does your mind map contain icons and symbols that are placed on specific topics to add meaning and context to them? 6, are those icons and symbols used consistently, ideally with a legend to help the viewer understand what they mean? 7, what external resources such as files, folders, and email messages do you want to be able to refer to later? Those should be linked in your map. Make sure they're connected to it. Number 8, how long are your topics? If they're over 4 to 5 words in length, you ought to consider moving some information into topic notes. It's very important that you minimize the amount of visual clutter in your map, otherwise it'll be hard to read. Number 9, what do you want to emphasize in your mind map? What do you want viewers to notice first? Consider placing a colored boundary around an appropriate grouping of topics and subtopics to add visual emphasis to it. Another way to do that is to give the most important topic a different background color, and that will attract the eyes of your audience to it naturally. Number 10, if you get stuck in the midst of producing a mind map, consider walking away from it for a few hours or a few days. It's an amazing way to come at your mind map fresh, because when you come back to it a few hours or days later, your mind is in a different place, and you'll see things that you didn't see the first time you were working on it. So there you have it. Your mind map needs to be complete in the detail it contains with all of its content in a logical order, as I've explained. And if you're going to share your mind map with others in particular, it must be immediately understandable. That's the main point. So for tips on how to become an effective mind mapper, I encourage you to visit the blog at the address on the bottom of your screen. This once again has been Chuck Fry. Thank you for watching.